Hi everyone, welcome to the channel for new battle report. So this is game number 2 of the tournament, online tournament, which is taking place at the moment, Legends of the 9th Age, and I was facing, in my group, after a good start, I was facing Romi, who is a French player, playing KOE, and I knew that he's a French player playing in a group of players that are quite active online, so well trained, so it's going to be interesting indeed. My list, you know it already. I put here again the main threat in my list, and I think in his list you see it's a quite classic KOE. I think it's inspired by the scrub list from ETC. I think it's more or less the same, but you have the Duke on the Hippogriff, you have then the folk hero cleric who is going to raise a unit of knight very often in the quest unit. Then you have the little folk hero on steed, who is the Utters melee, very strong, very mobile, obviously master shamanism. In core 3 mid-size units, so 9 realms, 9 edge knights, 8 sergeant. Then the 2 big units in special, quest and court, which are going to be the main threat here because on the charge are very scary. For my list, obviously, mainly the court you see here, I put the agility. It's very relevant for me because I'm playing Frost Mammoth, and you see this unit with agility 6 on the charge going to strike before me if I am on the Frost Mammoth. So yeah, very scary for me. And obviously the Fey Knight, who I think is probably the strongest piece in this army because of the forest power. Is very resilient, very annoying, can also ambush, but yeah, it's a good piece to open the game, and it's very hard to remove, and can lead to tricky situation, and then you can just activate your knight unit. So I think it's a very good opening piece because it's as a single model, when you have the ability to delete ranks, basically you delete static resolution, and it makes any fight much more interesting for a single model. Matchup analysis, so we play all the ground with first flank, and that was the first bad news for me. As soon as we roll for that, I thought, okay, I knew it was the trickiest combination I could have got against this list. Why? Because yeah, it's a knight list with a lance unit that charge. They have a bigger charge range than me. It has 8 Swift Stride where I have 6. So it's hard for me to get the charge against this list, and you know Ogre can need the charge. And in that case, if he charge, we can strike same time, but he's going to have basically the momentum, and he's going to be able to buff his unit where I need to make a prediction where he could charge. So yeah, it's a hard combination, not an easy matchup, but this combination was obviously a bad news for me. I would have preferred something a bit more standoffish, for example a breakthrough, something where we don't need to be on a particular point we don't need to control a particular point of the map, because I know that the sense of the game, or the way the game is going to go in most cases, is going to push me slowly and get some board control slowly. It's going to get the map at some point. I can try to change that by taking turn 1, so we will see. But definitely the primary is to his advantage. The secondary, I got Assassinate. I picked the Hippogriff and the little guy, who are single model. They should be active, so that should be doable for me. And he took take 3 of my banner. Pass to victory for me. Yeah, I think start. I would be happy to start, especially considering the setup here, and use my chaff to create opening. And I think here also the fact that I could start, if I can start, basically I can put more pressure on his backline with the Keen Eater, because I play 1 turn, then he plays a turn, and then I start to ambush. So I can make him out of charge range first turn, and then get the Keen Eater and start to pressure his back rank. And basically by pressuring his backline, I could force him to defend, which is going to give me some breathing space, and force him to look at different places on the map, and could give me some playing option on the other side. So we will see. Chaffing will be key, obviously. Avoid the quest and court charge. And here, you will see the map, but no real map advantage. Yeah, overall, complicated matchup, definitely for me. You knew I had a good start. I got a 20 on the first match. So for me, it was about not taking unnecessary risk to win it on every case. I wanted to have some control of the match and try to create opening, but without taking the risk of a big loss by just throwing unit in the map and see what happens. I wanted to get some control of this game and see how I could do, but I knew that the primary was going to be complicated. I hope by putting pressure and using a little superiority in amount of unit, I was hoping to take more points and maybe make the secondary to try to push towards a draw. That was definitely my expectation here, but I didn't expect really to be able to take a big win. If my opponent makes no mistake, again, I will try to put him under pressure, create different complicated situation. But if he makes no mistake, that's going to be a complicated game, just because of the unit that he has and the unit that I have on the map. Let's go to the deployment. I won the first roll, so at least that's that, which allows me to select attacker. My opponent cut the map this way, as you can see. Yeah, no real map advantage here. I debated a bit whether or not I should put here a Tristan unit. So my first idea was to put Tristan unit far right, and then the rest in the middle, and after that, I elected to put all my scoring in the middle, thinking, okay, we play center, I want my scoring in the middle, and maybe in the center, and maybe at some point I can take advantage from that. So that's the reason why I put some Tristan unit in the second line, thinking there are going to be multiple waves, and I could take advantage from that by having more scoring units. So that was my initial idea, was to put them on the flank, and after that I changed the opinion and brought the unit in the middle here. So I went with actually a Frost Mammoth on each side. My opponent picked the Frost Mammoth with the quest, so I thought by putting them on the flank, first of all, they are flexible single model, so it's easier for them to cover angles and to move back and forward, so I thought that's a good idea. Second of all, I can take advantage from potential terror check due to the BSB that's going to be in the middle. And thirdly, I can potentially deny a bit the advantage of the quest. Then I put my strength 6 Merkvets on each side and the Tribesman in the middle, and my 2 chaff pieces on the map. I put a Keen Eater and 2 Yetis, and the other 2 Keen Eater are going to be in ambush. His reply was Court Knight here, we have the Fey Knight here. Obviously these are the Merkvets with Stalker standard, those one are with the Ginget. Here you have the Knight of the Realm, you have the Yeoman, you see the quest down the middle. I understand this idea of getting the quest in the middle because they have Stalker standard and they can control the middle of the map, but I'm not going to take advantage at all from the reroll 2 wound early on against the Frosty. So that was good news. And here he put 2 mobile units who are going to put pressure on my flank. And mounted Sergeant here a bit in the back. So when I saw the setup, I felt okay about that because I was thinking, okay, the Ginget guy can put some pressure here, try to find something interesting. I can close down the flank with the Frosty here. I get those guys facing the Fey Knight, which is a matchup I wanted because they have Stalker standard. So combat against the Fey Knight is not too bad. And here I can close with the Frosty, and I knew that I needed at some point to get a Keen Eater here to threaten the Knight of the Court, which are one of the main issues of the matchup. So I saw it's quite okay. I was able to use my Yeti. I could chaff turn 1. I wanted to keep this option open, but you will see he covered every angle really well, and I had no good opportunity here with the Yetis. Let's move on to my turn 1. So I move back with the Yetis in the middle. I just put myself into position, move a little bit, but as you can see I didn't move much. I was pretty happy about the setup. I was waiting for the Keen Eater to come. Turn 1 I got Hereditary, and because I think I left him with a 6 charge for the Realm, so I got Hereditary, Dispel the Totemic, which is going to be what we do in Magic, and I also get Predator Instinct on this unit here, which is quite important because it allows me to zone a lot of unit. He could chaff me obviously, but we will see what he does. I was quite happy with the fact that I still have my chaff available, so I wasn't too eager to go too fast towards him. I was waiting a bit more for my Keen Eater. His turn, he moved a bit forward, but as you can see, my Predator Instinct here allows me to win 2 inches towards a lot of units, so that was quite important here. In the Magic phase, you get Hereditary, I Dispel the Totemic. My turn 2, I activate the first chaff piece, which I think it's a real discussion because, it's not that easy to take advantage from it. I hate to give chaff away for free, and that's a bit what I'm doing here. I get 1 chaff to pressure this unit, another one to pressure here multiple units, so quite happy about the position of the Keen Eater, but I think that one here in the middle, actually you see, I mean, he can charge me here, I can pressure with that unit, with that counter charge is dangerous for him, but he has a chaff piece that he can activate, and then towards the right, I'm still a bit far away. I think I took too long to activate this unit. I was a bit afraid of combo charge of the single guy plus those guys, so that's why I respect that charge. But yeah, I took a bit of time to push them forward, and basically I'm not really able to take a lot of advantage from that chaff, other than making those guys, they couldn't contact the tribesmen, so I win like 1-2 inches with the tribesmen, but that's not that crazy good. I think I could have just waited, to be honest. I think the right decision would have been to just wait one more turn with the Keen Eater here, and wait one more turn to activate. I think that wasn't necessary right now to activate this unit. Could have waited a bit more. Magic Face, he dispelled the Totemic. I got Predator Instinct on the Merc-Vets. I got Hereditary on the Keen Eater to make harder for him to delete me, and I kill one Edge Knight with a shot, I think from the BSB, so that was nice. He's turn 2, I charge my chaff, and he gets the chaff against my Merc-Vets unit, which allows him also to push a bit the Fey Knight. Those guys are going to play a cat and mouse with my Keen Eater, and the same with the Hippogriff covering my Keen Eater. But yeah, I'm quite happy about the trade-off, because I'm getting 1,000 point busy with 300 points from my side, which gives me a delta of plus 700 to play, more or less. You can put it that way. So I was thinking, okay, that's quite interesting, because we are on different part of the map. If you look that and that, I mean, we are far away from the rest, meaning the Hippogriff being there cannot really threaten me that long with the charge range. So that gives me room to play more in the middle. That was my hope here. But you see the rest, I mean, he's getting into position, getting here 3 central units who are going to be relevant for all the ground, and you see I'm a bit more far away than him. So I have some ground to cover right now. He's repositioning the little guy here towards the left flank, so he's creating a push with the chaff here and multiple units looking that way to try to then combo charge if I get a charge with the Merc-Vet or something else, which is quite interesting for him. He get +2 offensive on the quest with a token. He failed the Totemic. I dispelled something. I think got +1 strength on the quest. And shooting, he did 1 wound to my Merc-Vets with the throwing. Close combat, he one-shot exactly my Keen Eater, because he didn't wound that good since he had strength 6. I got resilience 5, -1 to wounds on 4+. And then with the regen, he exactly kills me before I can strike. And then it's my turn. I charge with my tribesman into his chaff unit, and making sure I have a fleet pass behind, and I put that unit to cover here, and the Frosty covers himself. So I'm thinking if you take any of those charges, I will be able to counter charge. If those guys charge here, they will be in the forest, and obviously those guys get a fleet pass here. I'm getting my character out because they are not threatened by range damage, and this allows me to prepare multiple units for the center. A huge mistake that I did, and here, yeah, cat and mouse will continue. You will see that will continue for a while. But here I think a mistake of judgment that I make, and I realized that a bit too late in the game, was not to pushing, now that this guy moved towards the left, pushing those guys more. I think they would have need to be within 9. Here I should have been able to find a way to position them here and be okay with a charge of Sergeant going through the ruin plus the Edge Knight. I need to be okay with that. And then I get counter charge set up from Tribesman, from the Frosty. But I think that's the position I should have been looking forward to get with the Ginget guy. Get this distance. I think it should be able to make it a long charge and be within 9 and push those guys a bit forward. I think that would have been the correct time to really activate the right flank, where I get a bit more threats and the Hippogriff is still all the way back. So I should have been able to take advantage from that. Magic Face, I get Clouded Sight on the Sergeant. So those guys, they cannot, I didn't want them to charge the Tribesmen, so I got the 2 Clouded Sight within 24, which is a good combo. So I'm able to make them no charge, so they cannot threaten my Tribesmen. That was one of the key aspects. And I think even more, I don't know if I could have been out of 12 of the Sergeant and within 9, but I think I knew exactly that I wanted to get Clouded Sight out of this Magic Face. So I think knowing that, I could have at least pushed more the Ginget guy to be just out of the 12 of the Sergeant. At least that. I don't know if I could have been within 9 of the center, but at least that. Why? To be closer to the Yetis, because you see that distance between my chaff, the Yetis and the Merc-Vets is way too big. And that's a key issue, because I'm not really able to threaten more then with 1 unit of Merc Vets that he can again chaff, as you will see. And that's a key issue that I have. I don't have multiple threats to take advantage from my chaff. So that's a real problem of tempo here. In the close combat, I get rid of the throwing weapon guy. Then his turn, I flee the charge of the Realm Knights, so they fail charge. He attempt also to charge me with the Fey Knight into my Frosty. He failed that charge, I think it was like a 4. So not so happily, unlucky for him. And then he uses his little guy who has the secondary, so quite interesting at least, to chaff both units in the flank. So that's quite interesting. Those guys cat and mouse, nothing crazy to mention. And here the quest gets the charge here, and as you can see again, those guys are chaff, and here the tribesmen are not in a position to really threaten the quest, and those guys are too far. So that's a key issue. He can just move back a bit sideways. He has 3 units in the center, I have only 2. And that's 1-0 for him on the primary. And that's also due to this mistake of the Merc Vets. I don't know, like I said, 9 is huge, but I don't know if I would have been able to be within 9 and be out of 12. But I think, despite that, I could have accepted, I could have allowed the fact that maybe he can charge me with the 2 units. Maybe he'd do a lot of damage, but I'm not so sure. And I think we can allow that. We are going to strike same time. I'm going to strike before the Sergeant, and then need to maximize the number of models. So yeah, I think overall, I think I have good chance of that combat. And I could have allowed that. I should have allowed that to give me an opening here on the right flank, to allow me to put pressure and get some board advantage at some point. Because here, I don't get any board advantage, and he gets the control of the center with 3 units. And that's it. So yeah, that was a bit disappointing. But like I said, I realized that too late, that I needed to push on this right flank. Magic Face, he gets Hereditary, and that's going to be it. I dispel the totemic, and that's it. He kills my Yetis, obviously, and like I said, I'm not really able to punish that, and that's an issue, because he's giving me away another piece of chaff. My turn. So I studied the fact that I could charge here in the flank with my Merc Vets. The problem is I would be here, and if I reform, I cannot be out of 12 of the realm, so I cannot use double clouded side as a solution here. Obviously I can chaff here the quest, and I'm going to, but I cannot chaff the realm. So I need to allow realm plus Fey Knight, and I thought that for the Merc Vets is probably too much. Those 2 guys on the charge, plus the help of magic, is probably too much. So I didn't want that, so I charged with the Frosty, where I thought the Frosty is less in danger, and I position as counter my Merc Vets, basically. So that's what I did, charge with the Frosty. It's also a terror check. If he fails that could open huge solution for me, because as you can see, he reformed that way. So I think in the flank. Yeah, I was in the flank of the quest after the reform. I think so. So yeah, at least that would have opened interesting things. But he passed the terror check, which I think was a 9 rollable. He passed it. Cat and mouse continue in the back line. I chived with the tribesman, and now I realize I need to push more. Now I'm allowing him to get charges. I'm allowing that charge as well. I'm allowing him to go on my flank. That's fine. I want to put pressure, and I'm allowing him to take some advantage on the mobility, because I need to push towards the center. So I get 1-2 unit again, but that's my issue. I'm always missing 1 unit, because this one is going to be killed, and he easily gets 3. And that's the main problem that I have due to this charge range. So yeah, we will see how I solve that. Those guys, unfortunately, are going to miss the 8 non-rollable and flee out of the table, so I'm going to lose that unit, unfortunately. The Magic Phase, I'm going to get Clouded Sight on the Knight of the Realm, which was the solution with the push of the Frosty here to get within 24, and I'm able to get no charge on those guys, which is nice. I don't know if, I think I had no solution to put those guys here, because in the forest, and then he could charge me here. So I had no good solution. Also with overrun attempt with multiple unit charging, I had no position to get a 3rd scoring, unfortunately for me. But anyway, I get Clouded Sight, which is nice. I also get Rod of Battle. He dispel Hereditary, but I get +1 to hit on the Frosty to help me a little bit. And then close combat, I killed 2 shooting. I killed 2 guys here with 2 shots from the Frosty, which was really nice. And close combat, these are the stats. Unfortunately, I make no wounds, so I have a charge, I have a rank, I have a flank, which is +4 on the static. I should do on average, you see, like 2 wounds, 1 to 2 wounds. He will do nothing to me with his 2 attacks. And then with the flea move, he's going to get into the forest, which is DTs. He could easily die. He could die. He didn't. I did 0 wounds. He fled. He took no DTs. And despite the minimized flea that I'm giving him, he still made a 10, which ends up perfectly here in the middle. My Merc Vets don't see him. I only have Tribesmen that see him, that cannot really punish that position. Not great at all. I took no points. I didn't take the secondary, so that was a bit sad. And you see I have already 28% chance of killing him on the charge with the Rod of Battle. So I still have a decent chance of killing him. But I did far from that. Anyway, his turn 4, he charged me with the Fey Knight. This guy with rally will rally on the 9. He charged me with the Crest. Those guys come as chaff here. Again, this will be a terror check. Here Cat and Mouse continue and he reposition in the center and still 3 scoring to my 2, and that's annoying. He put +2 offensive on the Fey Knight to hit me on 2+. He gets huge roll on the White Spike, which is the one that I wanted to dispel. I have only 5 dice, and with 4 dice he got 19 on White Spike. Wow, that's very annoying. I really wanted to get that out, so 4 hits on 4+, and that's automatic wounds. That's horrendous for me. I didn't risk my 5 dice for that. I let that go. And then, to my surprise, he 5 dice Totemic Summon, which I think is a huge risk. I don't really see the way Totemic Summon is game breaking here. I mean, it's a threat, it's nice, but 5 dice for that right now. I was able to take it out with my 5 dice, but I didn't really get the risk. I think if he kills his mage with that, gives me away 500 points for nothing, more or less. So I didn't really get this ID, but he wasn't punished for that. Close combat, yeah, now I'm a bit more lucky in combat. He did 3 wounds, so a bit below average with the Wild Spike. I did 2 wounds, which is a bit higher than average for me. You see, just 1 point below average, 1 point more than average, and this allows me to do 2 wounds. I'm going to stick on 6 rollable, so that's nice, and therefore I'm able to countercharge. So yeah, could have been worse, definitely. He got the Wild Spike, but could have been definitely worse for me. So it's not that bad, and he rallied his guy on 9, and I auto broke with those guys that are going to flee right here. My turn 5, I charged to make the terror check. Would have been nice again, but he made that one. I was able to then to reform out of 12 and to double Clouded Side. Those guys will be my magic target. Cat and Mouse continue in the back line. Those guys didn't flee far, as you can see, and here I countercharge the Fey Knight, so I'm going to take that at least. Magic phase, I'm going to get Clouded Sight on the Quest. I'm going to get a Wild Spike on the Frosty to make sure that if he charges me, it's very dangerous for him. Yeah, that's about it. Close combat, I kill that guys easily. Those guys, I kill 4, I think. He has 2 left. He's going to be able to flee. I cannot pursue, unfortunately. And he's not going to be decimated. I think he make a DT, but he made that. So no problem, and he's going to be able to rally and save half point, which is annoying because there were 8 guys. So yeah, that's it. His turn 5 is going to charge me. Yeah, I didn't rally those guys. I failed the 8 again, and I fled a bit more. His turn is going to flee over me here in the back. Those guys are here fleeing, so I need to rally them. But he's not decimated right now. Only if he failed the flee, then he's going to be destroyed and decimated. Cat and Mouse continue here again. Quite happy about that, but you see I'm not being able really to threaten those 3 units that are still controlling the center, despite the fact that I have more units, and that's an issue for me due to the charge range and how deadly they are on the charge. I wasn't really able to threaten them, and he was able really to give me away chaff against my chaff. I gave him a chaff, and then he gave me another chaff. And he saved that one, for example. This one was a free chaff. He chaffed 2 units with that and he's still alive and took nothing. So that was a huge issue for me. I took no DT on the march as well, so I just fled away from that, which is nice. Magic Face, he got +1 strength on the Court Knight in case I would charge with the Keen Eater. I would have been tempted to try that on the last turn maybe to take some points, but it's a very dicey fight, actually. I dispelled Totemic. He got me Frenzy on those guys in case I charge. I cannot flee after that. And he rallied the Edge Knight on the 9. My turn 6. Nothing crazy. Just going into saving point. I'm going to buff those guys and buff those guys. and that's it. And the rest I take no risk basically. In the magic phase I get wild spike into those guys, and then I will attempt 2 buff on 3 dice here, +1 strength and hereditary, and he will dispel that with 3 dice and 3 dice as well. So he gets here a free charge with nothing I can do, so I'm only be on static and try to survive, so we will see. And that's it, and his last turn is going to charge that. I'm going to flee obviously over the house here and save half point. He's going to charge into that combat. He's going to win by a bit, but I'm on -2 because I'm solid. No, I have a rank like, I don't remember the name, but I have a rank more than him, so I'm testing on 6 rerollable and I make that check. So yeah, that's fair. I think I failed 2 8 non-rerollable on the rallies, and I make 2 6 rerollable in combat, which both are more or less 50%, so no big drama here. Sometimes a bit lucky, sometimes a bit less lucky, but that's quite average actually. And that's the end of the game. So yeah, at the end we took same point. I took a Fey Knight, I took a chaff piece, the Yeoman, and I took half of the edge. And he took from me a full tribesman that fled off the board, half tribesman that fled from the charge, and then the 2 chaff, Yetis and Keen Eater, and that's it. So not much happened, but then he wins on the primary, and I didn't take the secondary due to his folk hero saving himself, which was worth 2 points actually. So that was worth a lot, this combat. Anyway, deployment. Yeah, I think my main regret here is not putting on the strong flank another unit, or far right. I think a unit of tribesmen was a bit of an issue. I don't know. No, I don't have any more image, but I just wanted to show something on the map. Yeah, I think starting here with a unit of tribesmen was the right choice. And I think another regret was this Ginget unit wasn't enough in the center. I think I should have put it more in the center to really, anytime that I chaff here, I have the threat of the Ginget unit. I think my Merc were too far from the center. To get one down here with the forest and all, it's fine. It's his strong flank. We expect him from coming hard. Nice. But here I think the right choice would have been the Ginget more in the center, and each time that I chaff, it's a risk that I can then charge with my Ginget into the quest. And I think if I get that charge under the frost with some buffs, I can get that unit. We strike same time, but I'm going to be buffs, and beyond the charge with the reroll the ones, I think I can get that combat. And yeah, that's something I wasn't able to do because those guys were a bit misdeployed, I think. I didn't expect the quest that much in the center, and I think by putting more in the center I can really tell them, okay, you're going to be in the center, I'm going to be as well. Due to the ruin, we can expect that with the Soulker standard. And then the tribesman here far right, yeah, I think at some point I can try to push at some point. I can try to push a bit more. Sometimes maybe open up with the Frosty and they cover, or the opposite, I push with them and the Frosty is covering. So I think they could have done something here, pushing the right flank. A bit more than that. Actually, I overestimated my ability to take the center, and therefore this traffic jam of scoring unit wasn't really to my advantage, actually. Anyway, yeah, try to play for the primary was too complicated. I think also main mistake here, not pushing the Ginget Merc on turn 2. I waited a turn too much, and then it was too late. I played quite safe, as you can see. I could have taken more risk at some points. I played quite safe, reducing the variance. I was okay to take a small loss here. I hoped for a bit more, but I didn't manage to do it. But I didn't want to open up the match too much, giving him charges where he could take more points and really open too much. So I played it safe, also waiting for him to maybe take a bit more risk, and then it could backfire. He didn't take that much risk as well, and just took control of the center. Double Clouded Sight helped me a lot to delay engagement. Keen Eater putting pressure on turn 2 was also nice, occupied 1,000 points during all game, but I wasn't really able to take advantage from that help from the Keen Eater, forcing him to defend. We can also debate whether or not I should have put the third Keen Eater in ambush, which is also an option. You see, one of the regret was my use also of the chaff in the center. I used that too late. That's also something, a bit of a problem for me. And maybe the third Keen Eater in ambush would have been another pressure more for him, because he would have struggled to defend all 3 of them. So that could have been also something I could have used. I talk about the Ginget Merc enough. Yeah, the rally. But I think overall, like I said, sometimes you're a bit lucky, sometimes you're less lucky. Nothing too crazy here happened with the dice, actually. It's just about, yeah, what can happen sometimes. And yeah, a bit sad not to get the folk hero in the secondary. I think that's my yeah, the regret that I have on the dice was I would have liked to take that folk hero and the secondary. Its worst 2 points would have definitely reduced my defeat, but that wasn't meant to be. I feared the worst for the first mammoth when he got the white spike, but then I was able to hold thanks to the frosty, so that was nice. And then the last combat, the tribesman holding, saving me a point, because I would have lost another point if he took that tribesman unit. Anyway, guys, that's all for this game. So after 2 games, I'm losing 20. I have 27 points. Sorry. So I still have a bit of work to do to try to qualify. We will see. My next game will be soon against a Dread Elf player from our pool. So really eager to play that one and to make the battle report of it. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Take care and talk to you soon on the channel. Goodbye.